Hi, listeners. Before we dive into today's episode, I wanted to let you know that this episode is sponsored by The Draw Shop, and we've got something exciting for you. Let me ask you something. Have you ever been asked what you do? We all get asked this, right? Have you then answered and then got the response of totally glazed over eyes or just the look of someone politely smiling, but definitely not caring? It sucks. I know. I've totally been there on both sides, actually. That's why my team and I at the Draw Shop now offer a service to help you perfect your elevator pitch so that people immediately understand how you can make their life better and so that you can use this anywhere in your marketing. It's the single statement that compels your prospects to take action right away. Here's what happens. You meet with an expert copywriter on our team to define the problem you solve, how you solve it, and the transformation your customers experience after working with you. From there, we'll turn that into a short and sweet elevator pitch just for you and create a compelling one-page visual story to help the world better understand your business and how you can help them. For a special limited time offer, we are offering you this service for 1/3 the usual price, valued at $1,500. Yep, 70% off. Again, this will only be available for a limited time, and we've already seen incredible results with our clients changing this one single statement. So to get your word perfect pitch today, head to www.thedrawshop.com/elevator pitch now. That's www.thedrawshop.com/elevator pitch. Okay, let's get into today's episode.
Anyone who has an email list that has already a list of perfect prospects, as you put it, you should be asking them for referrals. You should be incentivizing them to send you referrals your way. And these are not just customers you should be asking, it's every single person on your email list.
Hello, listeners. Welcome to another episode of Backstage Business. Our world is changing a lot, and none of us are naive to that. But what's really important is how we are shifting in our business and being open-minded to the various things that we can do to bring in revenue that we might be missing out on because of all the changes happening, because of lockdowns, maybe not being able to be in person with our clients, or if you're somebody who has events, not being able to hold those events. And so a lot of things are shifting to virtual, and we're having virtual meetings, we're having virtual events. And some of us might not have ever even considered that a virtual event or summit would be something that would fit in with our business. And I hope that I can change your mind and shift your perspective on that today with my guest, Liam Austin. Liam Austin is a virtual event strategist. He is a genius. I've worked with him in the past, met him maybe about 5 years ago, and he's just incredible with the events and the amount of people that he gets to the events and the amount of revenue that he generates. It's incredible. And he's launched over 15 virtual summits and online business networking events, hosting over 400 speakers while educating 100,000 plus business owners through his programs. He's the co-founder of Entrepreneurs HQ, and he's a specialist and again, absolute genius at making it easy for people to create their own virtual summits and online conferences so that you can grow your email list, build your authority, and really impact your prospects and your clients and increase your revenue all at the same time. So we're going to talk about all of those things in depth today and how you can do that for your own business in the most simplest way, because I like it to be very actionable for my listeners, because sometimes you hear something and it can seem quite overwhelming to say, wow, how can I all of a sudden out of the blue create a virtual summit? And I hope that that becomes something very attainable for you after you hear today's podcast. Enjoy.
Hi, Liam, and thank you so much for joining me today. This is going to be huge for our listeners, so welcome.
Yeah, I'm excited. Summer, thanks for inviting me on.
So it's been over 4 years ago, I think, that we first met, and I'm super amazed by all all the amazing summits that you have put together that are packed with so much value. And I felt like it was so important to have you on because, as everyone knows listening, as you know, we've got a lot of stuff happening in our world that is causing us to think differently about our businesses. And you are just an incredible genius of putting together virtual summits and doing things that don't require you to be in an event space or at an office or in the room with somebody. And you've managed to scale your business and do incredible things and help other people do that. So I'm just so thrilled that you're here, and we're going to go over all of that stuff today. But before we get into all of that, I'd love for our listeners to hear a little bit of your background and how you got into this and how this became your thing that you're so good at.
Yeah, sure. So going back to 2015, my partner and I, you can probably tell I'm Australian. Still got my Aussie accent.
Love it.
Yeah. So my partner was Swedish, European, and she was out in Australia for a year studying. And we realized we need to make a decision about, well, do we need to live in Australia? Do we need to live in Sweden? Or do we need to make that choice at all? And it was like, well, do we need to make that choice at all? Like, perhaps we can create an online business and just, be in both places, right? Depending on our needs and wants. Like, that dream lifestyle, that dream business, can we create it? And I had this LinkedIn group that I started in 2008. So it was like 7-8 years prior, when LinkedIn first allowed you to create a group on LinkedIn. And I knew a bit of SEO back in the day, and I managed to get the group on LinkedIn ranking quite high. So it grew into the largest group on LinkedIn for small business owners. And it's still up there. It's got a couple of 100,000 members, small business owners in that group. It's called the Small Business Network. And we thought that, well, this is probably a good place to start our online business. There's probably some opportunity within that group. And at the time, there was around 90,000 small business owners who were members in that group. And we thought, how do we monetize this? How do we do it? And we did some webinars. So a weekly webinar, which kind of was a lot of work, setting up a new opt-in page, a new email funnel, a new event happening every single week. It was kind of a bit burdensome, and it didn't have a high conversion rate, even for the opt-in for the free webinar, or even, once they were on there, it wasn't converting as well. So we kind of looked at the data, looked at the stats, and we realized that, well, the one that was converting really well was the topic of prospecting on LinkedIn. Funnily enough, right? This is the small business owners all in a group on LinkedIn. So of course this was topical for them. So we ran a few of these webinars on LinkedIn with some partners who were, selling their own programs and courses off the back of that. And we were getting some commission for hosting these events. And we thought, well, rather than doing these one-off, one speaker events each week, why don't we create something bigger, something a bit more attractive, like a festival? Let's pull everyone together, like 30 LinkedIn prospecting experts, to come and speak all under the one roof, all at the one event. And let's just focus all our energy on promoting this one singular event, and look at 3 months of promotion and building up and anticipation to make sure that this was a high converting event, that people, there was that fear of missing out because everyone was involved, everyone was collaborating. If you weren't there, then you were missing out. And that's the way it worked. Like we ran the LinkedIn Success Summit in 2015. We had over 15,000 attendees, which blew all the numbers away from what we'd previously been doing with our weekly webinars. I think even with those weekly webinars, we might have just touched on 3,000-4,000 over the 3 or 4 months of doing these weekly webinars. So it really worked well for us. And since then, we've hosted over 15 of these bigger virtual events, but also helped our clients create many more.
That is so awesome. I love that so much. And it brings so much hope to people today. So I have a few questions, because I think a lot of our listeners, some of them have done in-person events, and some of them have never done one at all, but are now entertaining that idea as another part of their business. And I wanted to hear your thoughts on that. Some of them are just like, well, I've never done that before. Why should I even start now? Because some people who have done the in-person can bring those people over and say, hey, we're doing this virtually now. So, we've still got the same people that are interested. But what about those people who haven't done that at all, ever? Is there hope for them?
Absolutely. Like, I had no idea what I was doing when I started. And, most of the people that I talk to, that I help, have never done this before themselves. Maybe they don't even host their own in-person events, right? They've never done a webinar before. So this framework, this system works for anyone, whether they're just starting or someone with an established 6-figure, 7-figure business. We've got clients who run their own $1 million virtual summits. So absolutely, like it can work at any level. And what would I say to people who are just thinking about it? Like, just start. Like, I got started with a one-off webinar, right? And I saw that it was doing all right. It was working, but I could do better. How do I make it better? Maybe you move from like a one single speaker webinar, or maybe it's just you teaching on that webinar. And then you move on to having 2 or 3 trainings or speakers across maybe multiple days potentially as well. And it's just about just getting comfortable. If you look at, your existing event, if it's working really well offline, then 80% of it you can move online. It's just a different experience, right? You're not in the same room, but you're still providing, the same content, still providing that educational value. Maybe that you're still doing the offer, the sales off the back of that. So it can all be transitioned across online. It's just, presented in a slightly different way. And you have to maybe be a bit creative in how you move those different parts of your offline event online.
Right. So what would you say is, if you are contemplating this and you're thinking, this is probably a good idea, what is that first step? What is this? Or can you kind of give us a high level view of the process of putting this together? I mean, I know it's going to be more intricate and there's a specific framework, but what's that high level view?
Well, so for me, I always ask, what's your number one goal from your event? And when we look at the events that we run, there's 4 core main benefits, maybe even a 5th, but I'll go through the 4 core benefits that we see, which are building your audience. So creating a targeted audience, building your email list. So that's number 1. Number 2 is growing your own authority. So your authority in the space, being known as an expert on the topic, on solving these people's issues. You're building that credibility and trust, that know, like, and trust factor with your audience. Mm-hmm. So there's that. So you've got, your email list, you've got your authority that you're building. The third one is networking with other influencers. So just leveraging top influencers in your marketplace, already established experts, and collaborating with them, bringing them in to be involved in your event, whether that is as a speaker, affiliate, a media partner, or a sponsor. So that's the third one there, the network of influencers, of, the biggest people in your market are now your friends, right? A very powerful thing to have. And then the fourth one is generating revenue from your event. So what is the main reason? What is your number one goal or outcome that you want to have from your event? So is it, the email list, building your audience? Is it building your own authority and credibility? And those two go together really, really well. If you've got an audience, you've got credibility with them, you can sell whatever you want to them, right?
Right.
Which generates revenue. And if you can add, these well-known experts into that, where they're telling your perfect prospects all about you, about your products and services, they're promoting you, they're supporting you, they're inviting people to your event that you're hosting, that just makes it, the conversion process, so much better. So you're going to be making sales so much easier. There's not going to be so much convincing that needs to be going on, because you've already laid that foundation by letting other influencers that they already, trust to do that for you. So I look at those goals and I say, okay, well, what is the number one goal? And a lot of the time, people starting a business to make money. So, okay, well, I want to make revenue. So that's what we need to look at, really define what are the main goal that we want to achieve. And awesome, great. We can now decide that the goal is to make revenue, to make a profit. Then every single decision we make about what the event should look like should come back to that goal. Well, does it lead us towards that goal? Does it help us achieve that goal of more revenue? Yes or no? If yes, great, let's go ahead with that. If not, no, then let's figure out another way to do it. So looking at your event in that perspective really just helps you achieve those goals, but also create an event that's going to be super valuable and is in line with your ultimate goal.
Awesome. I love that. It's like it's reverse engineering, which I love to do. Look at that for, what does the successful outcome look like? So if it's okay, I'd love to go into each of those 4 points and ask some specific questions. So the first, and I want to go into growing the email list. Is it important to try to grow an email list before the event, or are you using the event to grow the email list, or is it both? How can people do that? And I know a lot of people have questions around, how do I even grow my email list?
Yeah, no, so the event itself, the virtual summit, is a list builder. So you don't need to be creating an email list before. Like this event that you create, I said okay, choose one, maybe it's revenue, but actually all 4 of those core benefits in combination, adds rocket fuel to your business, to your growth and everything that you do. So it just makes it easier, right? So email list will come from launching your event. It'll come from the partnerships. I always like to look at these events as collaborations. And I mentioned the 4 collaborators that I like the most, which are, your speakers, your sponsors, your media partners, as well as your affiliates. And there's another one that's huge, which is your attendees. So, okay, how can you turn your attendees into partners? Well, another name for it might be ambassadors or advocates for your brand, right? So you're turning these attendees who've already got their free ticket, and you're saying, well, why don't you invite some of your friends or your colleagues, or you're interested in this topic, you're hanging out in other Facebook groups or LinkedIn groups. Why not share some free tickets with that group and invite these people along? Because as soon as you do that, you're going to amplify your learning and knowledge as soon as you are going through an event alongside other people. So that's really beneficial for them. They're doing good. They're inviting people to a valuable event that's free. And then for you as the host, you're looking at getting referrals from not just now your speakers, sponsors, media partners, and affiliates, but now also your attendees. And when we do this, we see a growth of at least 20% in the number of attendees attending from adding a referral mechanism to our events. And this can all be automated, guys, so that as soon as someone signs up for your event, they enter in their name and email address, they're asked, well, do you have any friends you want to invite to come along? And if so, awesome, we'll reward you for every single person that signs up via your link, via your invitation. So not only are you asking for people to invite their friends along, but you're actually rewarding them. You're incentivizing them to bring more people. So you're building this tribe of attendees. And if you look at that compared to, say, you've got a 30 speaker event, you've got 30 speakers who are promoting you, but you might have 1,000 attendees. So 1,000 people promoting you versus 30 people, it's a huge difference, right? So having 1,000 people who are raving fans, shouting out to the rest of the world, the internet, because you're doing an online event about your event, it can just really build your email list quickly. And it all comes from launching your virtual event. That free ticket offer is so attractive to people that we generally see anywhere between a 60 and 75% opt-in rate from every single visitor that lands on our website, which is huge. And I'll go back to my example of running individual webinars right at the very beginning. We were seeing like maybe a 20% sign up rate for every visitor. So 1 in 5. And now, we're getting at least 1 in 2 people, if not more,
That's
signing up
incredible.
to our
It's all
sites.
about that giving them value up front with no risk there. And then I love the incentivizing them to invite other people, because you're getting the same type, you're getting that ideal avatar that you're looking for, because it's, well, if I like it, then I know she's going to like it. And then you're just getting more of the same type people that you want to attend your perfect prospect.
Yeah. And anyone who has an email list that has already a list of perfect prospects, as you put it,
Yeah.
like you should be asking them for referrals. Like you should be incentivizing them to, send you referrals your way. And these are not just customers you should be asking. It's every single person on your email list. And this can be automated with a one-time setup. So there's no excuses not to be doing this.
I think I know your type. Let me guess. You're the kind that's 100% willing to put in the sweat equity to get after your goals, as long as you're given a step-by-step process that leaves nothing to chance. Am I close? Okay, then let's get this out of the way. If you've been listening to me for the past month, you know I've been talking a lot about my mentor and friend, Amy Porterfield, and how she is the queen of digital courses. If it weren't for Amy, I'd be slinging just another online course, because a good digital course, yeah, they're anything but set it and forget it. That's why I'm excited to let you know that for the first time in a year, doors to Amy's Digital Course Academy have officially opened. And I've got a bonus package for you that will help you speed up your way to course creation success. But you have to go to my personal link at thedrawshop.com/Amy to get your hands on it. Joining Digital Course Academy in 2018 turned out to be a game changer for my business. It's a ridiculous deal that she's offering, and that's why the doors won't be open long. So go see what's on the inside at www.thedrawshop.com/Amy. If you're down to chip away at that list with daily baby steps, make sure you hop inside Digital Course Academy alongside my bonus. Wait, Summer, what's the bonus? Well, did you hear my intro today where I talked about how my team and I at the Draw Shop now offer a service to help you perfect your elevator pitch so that people immediately understand what you do and how you can make their life better? It's the single statement that compels your prospects to take action right away. Well, your bonus when you join Amy Porterfield's Digital Course Academy through my link is the elevator pitch. That's right. When you join, I'm going to give you this service for free, meaning you'll get to meet with one of our expert copywriters to define the problem you solve, how you solve it, and the transformation your customers experience after working with you. And from there, we'll turn that into a short and sweet elevator pitch and create a compelling one-page visual story to help the world better understand your business and how you can help them. You can take this exact statement and infographic and use it for your course. I seriously can't wait for this program to change the game for you. Just head over to thedrawshop.com/Amy. And when you join, we will get notice and send you all the details to get your bonus. You've heard me talk about our trainings, and adding a digital course to our model literally changed my life and the growth of my business. This is hands down the fastest way to crush your course creation mental roadblocks. So head over to thedrawshop.com/Amy because it's only there for a couple of more days. Okay, back to the show.
In terms of marketing and advertising this free ticket, are you doing, is it paid social? Is it Facebook, Google ads, maybe even LinkedIn prospecting? I'm not sure, but is that how you're gathering these people?
Yeah, I mean, all of the above.
Yeah, exactly. But, as you should be, but just for our listeners to know, hey, how do I even get in front of the people to offer them this?
Yeah, the number one conversion channel, like the biggest ROI channel, most marketers say this, comes from email. So we need to get access to email addresses. The best way to do that is to look at your collaboration partners. Maybe your sponsors can come in and email their list or their audience about this free event, this free ticket that they can get access to. I mean, hey, we're a sponsor of this event. We're supporting this. Come and attend the event that we are helping to arrange. And then also look at all the other collaborators, your affiliates, your media partners. Media partners, yes, they could put a news release that your event's coming up. They could be putting up a website banner, but the most effective is not social. It's not that Twitter post. It's going to be the email that they send out. So again, it's about finding out access to email lists that have your ideal prospects and seeing how you can get them involved in collaborating with you on this event and making sure it's a win-win for them as well.
Yes. And I would stress here too, in terms of, further proving your point, is that you're doing this and you're gaining those emails and names on your email list, which, like you just said, there's so much value in your email list. And I think a lot of people underestimate that value. And it's just incredible, the types of people and how, the lifetime value of those names and people that you have within your tribe.
Oh, 100%. I couldn't agree with you more. Like, we've had people that sign up to my email list 2015, but they're only just buying from us in the last few months.
Yep.
Yet, because, the timing wasn't right, or we didn't have the right offer in front of them, or they didn't have the money, whatever it might be. But you've still got that line of communication and you own that asset. You own that list of email addresses. But those followers on Twitter, Instagram, like, they can be taken away. Yeah. Right. At any point, you don't control them. So email list building is number one.
Right. Absolutely. So I want to ask, in terms of getting those guests and speakers, for those people that are just starting out with the virtual summit, what is the best way to get those influencers or really, noteworthy speakers on your summit and speaking, so that people are so excited to listen?
Yeah, I think it's about making it a collaboration project. So think about this virtual summit as involving the whole community, your niche, your market. You're inviting all the major players to be involved, whether that's, again, a media partner, sponsor, speaker, whatever it might be, but you're inviting them to be part of this. You want to build this into the, biggest, most valuable resource and event that, the market has ever seen, right? Maybe that's potentially could be your goal if you're going for one of these big 30 speaker virtual summits. But it's about just getting buy-in from these collaborators. So how do you get that buy-in? Well, what's in it for them? Why would they want to be involved? And trying to figure that out should be your number one goal. Like, how can you help them? And okay, I know now I need to figure that out. What's in it for them? How do I figure that out? Well, simplest way is just to ask them, like, all right, cool. I'd love to invite you to speak on my stage. I'm expecting to bring 10,000 attendees, and this is maybe a big opportunity. I think it's going to be a big event, the biggest event that this market's ever seen. But also, like, I want to help you. So what's the biggest project that you're working on in the next 12 months? And then they'll tell you about the biggest project that they care about, that they're working on this year, and ask or figure out a way that you can support them with that, how you can help them with their biggest project, so that it is a collaboration, right? It extends from just the event to maybe a friendship, right? Like, from a partnership to a friendship. You're building relationships with these major players in your market. And it just starts with that simple question of, okay, well, what's your biggest project? What's the most important thing that you're working on in the next 12 months? How can I help you?
Yes. Again, back to that giving value, even when it's, bringing people on your show, just giving value to somebody else, they're more likely to reciprocate.
Yeah, it's just about, giving a little bit and making sure that, you're giving, knowing that it's helping them, achieve their major goal.
I love it. So one thing that I think that's so great, I mean, it kind of speaks for itself, but maybe we can go into it a little bit more, is how these summits, by having them, really establishes authority for yourself. And that's something I've talked a lot about in terms of when we're putting out messaging about our businesses, is having that empathy and understanding their pain points, but also, showing them that you are the one that can help them fix whatever problem that they have. Like, for example, you are the one that can help them to create their own virtual summit. So maybe go a little bit into that, how they can leverage these summits to build their authority.
Sure. So the whole idea of virtual summit is, I like to think of it in the way of a collaborative project. I've said that word a few times today, but it really is that. It's a collaborative project. So being a collaborative project, I think that what you need to do is just think of it that way. And if we approach everything that we do with our virtual event as a collaborative project, then we're going to achieve the results that we set out to achieve. And for instance, in this case, building authority, well, by bringing in the major players in your market who are now promoting you, they're supporting the event, they're being involved in the event, they're talking about you and your products and your services and your event out to their audience, they're essentially saying to the market, hey, here's this person who I recommend you go and check out. And because they've already got this established trust and credibility with this existing major player, they're like, okay, cool. I'll take this referral and I'll go and check it out because I trust you. And already there's this inbuilt authority just in the whole concept of a virtual summit. It's just built into its veins, if you like, that as soon as the major players in the market are promoting you, are supporting you, even just speaking and sponsoring and talking about your event, it instantly just elevates your authority in the marketplace, your expertise in the eyes of the attendees, right? In the eyes of your prospects. They've got some inbuilt trust there automatically based on this referral. And that's why I love talking about this being a collaborative project, about referrals from sponsors, media, speakers, affiliates, and from the attendees as well. Because as soon as someone makes a referral, you're so much more likely to pay attention to that. And stats show you're more willing to actually buy based on a referral as well. I think it's like the increase in sales revenue from a referral is something like 7 times the normal conversion.
Yes.
So
yes.
Yeah, it's huge, right? So the idea of a referral is there's that inbuilt authority instantly, automatically by running a virtual summit based on our system. But of course, there's certain things that you want to do once you're hosting the event to increase that authority. But don't forget, you've got all these prospects now on your email list. They're seeing you on video for maybe 3, 4, even 5 days in a row. They're seeing you speak and engage and level with the major players in the marketplace, and they're getting to know you, right? They're being attracted to you. The right people will be attracted to you. They'll like you, and there'll be that credibility and trust being built by visually seeing you. Okay, yes, it would be best if you're in person, but sometimes that's not possible. But virtually, the next best thing is video, actually seeing the face, the movement, the expressions, and really getting to quickly build that trust and that credibility. And essentially with what you're saying, the authority by just having these conversations with these experts in your marketplace and showing your level of expertise during those conversations.
I love that. And it's so true. It's all so true. I love that so much. Okay. Important question that a lot of people are thinking about as we go into this last part is generating revenue. So some people are like, okay, so wait a minute. If I'm offering a free ticket, where is it that I'm going to generate revenue from this? So what are some of the various ways that people will do that?
Yeah, absolutely. I love this question. It's something that I've been focusing on for the last 5 years, really figuring out how to maximize profits from running any type of virtual event. So we have clients working in our $1 million virtual summit program where the only goal is to hit $1 million, right? By combining a virtual summit with a high ticket offer. So yes, we've got a free ticket, and we'll just walk through the journey through this summit framework, if you like, where we want to take them from a free ticket to purchasing a low ticket offer, such as an all access pass, which may just be lifetime access to the recordings of the event and maybe a community, a Facebook group, potentially a live Q&A after the event as well. So that may be around the $97 mark. But then the high ticket offer on the back end is where the profit is made, where you want to make serious growth, serious revenue. So this comes from the high ticket. And when I say high ticket, I mean $10,000 priced program, service, or product. Okay, right. So $10,000 or more. And to make this simple, it could be 6-month coaching or consulting package. Maybe it's a 12-month, mastermind, whatever it might be. It's a $10K program that we're selling off the back end. And I mentioned masterminds, coaching, consulting, because that's where most of our clients are. And you don't have to have a high ticket offer yet, but I do suggest that you have the high ticket offer. So, reverse engineer the whole funnel. Have that high ticket offer. Know what it is. Know that there's people eager to buy. Make sure that people have already paid for it. So you know that there is that commitment. There is a market.
Yes.
And if you combine the virtual summit with a high ticket offer, if it's 10K offer, 25K, 50K offer, whatever it might be. But if we look at the average of the clients that we work with, 25K offer, we need to sell 40 of those 25K programs to make our $1 million. So if we look at having a summit that attracts 5,500 people to the website, so 5,500 people check it out, about 65% convert. So about 65% say, yes, I'm going to grab a free ticket. That gives us about 3,500 people and their email address. 3,500 people that we can market to for the next 12 months. They're on our email list. We can send them an email every day, twice a day if we want. You might not want to do that, right? But you've got 3,500 people that you're selling your program to, and you only need to sell 40 of those 3,500 people into your high ticket offer of 25K to make your $1 million. And don't forget, your virtual summit has already built that email list. It's built your authority and credibility with them. They already know, like, and trust you. Mm-hmm. It's the next logical step for them to take is to get more personalized help, to get results faster, to get that transformation with you. That's that high ticket offer. Converting 40 of those people, to make your $1 million is, I'm not going to say super simple, but it's absolutely achievable for you if you have the right, virtual summit framework in place.
I love that. Now, what about in terms of the guests that you have, affiliate partnerships there, if they have something to offer your list?
Oh, sorry. What do you mean by that?
So you have a guest on your summit and they have something, some sort of expertise, and they have something that they're selling. What about an affiliate partnership that way, where if somebody buys from your guest speaker, you're then receiving an affiliate commission fee from that?
Oh, 100%. Like, it's a collaborative project, right? So what's the biggest project you're working on? Well, this is my main program. Can you help support it? We're doing a launch here, or can you even just promote it anytime in the next 6-12 months? Yeah, no worries. Of course, I love working with you and I love to collaborate. So of course, I'll help promote and support you. So you've got now 3,500 people on your email list. 40 of them have purchased your program, but there's another 3,460 right, people that haven't purchased anything from you. So let's leverage our partnerships. Let's promote our partners, support them, and potentially some of the people on your list will say, you know what, your program just wasn't quite a right fit for me, but this speaker or sponsor or partner, this affiliate, this offer works for me, so I'm going to take that. And because you sent through that buyer to your affiliate, then you get some affiliate commission. And if you're promoting something that's a 2K or above, I'd really be looking at anywhere between 30 to 50% commission on the actual sales price of that offer.
So good. So much good stuff. It's so exciting when you actually, break it down and all the potential that's sitting there.
Yeah.
So now the question is, okay, I'm ready to go. I want to explore how I can put this together. What do I do? And how can Liam help me? What can they do?
Yeah, sure. So we've been helping clients now since 2018, launch their own virtual events, virtual summits, just get started with it. We've got our Virtual Summit Academy, which is an online course that you can go through at your own pace, at your own time, which gives you everything you need to run a successful event, whether you're just starting out or whether you're an existing business. But there's all the scripts, templates, everything you need in that package. And then we've got our $1 Million Virtual Summit program, which we actually partner with clients to hit $1 million within 18 months by combining a virtual summit with a high ticket offer. And that's where we actually help even create a high ticket offer for our client. And then we reverse engineer the whole funnel. We help actually build the summit out for the client. And we partner with them. So we're doing a bit of a performance revenue share deal with those partners. But that's for a select few people that we work with. So if anyone wants to, ask any questions about either of those or anything we've talked about today, happy for people to just email me, liam@entrepreneurshq.com. Otherwise, you can go check out milliondollarvirtualsummit.com.
Awesome. And we'll, as always, have links to everything you mentioned in the show notes. This is so awesome because this is something that is just so important right now, especially right now with so many people at home, so many people not necessarily wanting to travel and just to be able to implement this as another stream of revenue that brings so much value to your clients and to gain new prospects. It's so awesome. And I appreciate that you've made it so attainable for people to do.
Yeah, I'm super excited. I live and breathe virtual events, virtual summits. So I love talking about this kind of thing. And yeah, you've asked some really interesting questions for me today, and hopefully I've been able to share some of the things that I've learned over the past few years.
I love it. Thank you so much, Liam. This is fabulous.
No worries. Cheers, Summer. Thanks for having me on.
Thank you.
Hey guys, I just want to say thank you so much for listening to this podcast. If you haven't already done so, would you do me a favor and go subscribe and review this podcast? My goal is to continue to deliver you content that will really move the revenue needle in your business and give you up-to-date content on anything else that can dramatically help your business. You can also find us at thedrawshop.com/podcast, where you can comment on the podcast or contact us directly with any issues you'd like me to address. Thanks again. I really, really appreciate you listening, and I'll see you next time.